Oh, thank you. Thank you very, very much. You're so kind. You're always so kind to me. Welcome to another episode of the Barry Bow Show. I'm working in the annex today in beautiful suburban Folcroft. Still home of America's Best Crime Writer. It's still cool out. The windows are open, so there may be some ambient noises. A couple weeks ago, my arch buddy, Jim Chesko, or is it Jim Chesko? I always forget. And I'm not dyslexic. So let's just go with my arch buddy. Anyway, he posted something about the Love Boat, and it triggered memories of when I was in an episode of Love Boat. In fact, 2 scenes. Long story, I'll try to make it short. If you saw the episode of the Barry Bow Show called White Boy, you already know that way back during the late 1980s, when I was 42 years old, I got fired from an $80,000 a year job in Philly, managing a gym, Holiday Spa, and I almost became the cocaine connection for Club Elan, a private club in Center City for the Phillies high rollers. But I didn't want to go to prison, so I retired and I moved to the island of St. Croix in the Caribbean. Well, one of my best friends and former work colleagues at Holiday came down for a visit, Gary Hoffmeister. And we went out to Rumors one night, a happening sports bar / live music venue in Christiansted. And we're having a couple beers and hoping to hook up with a couple of fine young things. And Gary says to me, "Don't look now, but that girl at the end of the bar, she's all over you." A few seconds pass. "Now, can I look now?" "Don't bother," he says. "Here she comes." And here's how I describe that meeting in my crime fiction novel, Caribbean Queen. I keep telling you, all of my crime fiction stories are based on real people and real events. And here's how I portray that real-life meeting in my crime fiction, Caribbean Queen. "Excuse me," she says with a Hispanic lilt and a smile, "but I have been staring at you for quite some time." She hands me a business card. "My name is Ava." She pauses. "Ava Cruz." Now, in real life, her name's Linda Colon. If you're from St. Croix, you probably know her. Now here, I'm going to use my fictional name for my main character in Caribbean Queen. "Pleased to meet you, Ava. My name's Duke." "Interesting," she says with another smile. "And your last name, please?" "Fox." "Very appropriate," she says, and smiles again. "Yes, you are certainly a Zorro." "Zorro? Like the old TV show and movie?" "Zorro means fox in Spanish," she explains. "Oh, didn't know that." "My name's spelled with 2 X's. Even better. Double consonants in a man's name subconsciously imply power." "I didn't know that either." "Now you do. But please, let me be blunt, Duke Fox. You have a certain look about you that interests me. You see, I'm a talent agent, and I book talent for TV commercials. Linda, let's make that Ava Cruz, becomes a character in Caribbean Queen. But let's start cutting to the chase. I keep the appointment with Linda. She tapes me, and before too long, I'm doing a commercial for Sitmar Cruise Lines. I'm holding hands with my girlfriend as we walk along the beach at sunset as a Sitmar cruise ship goes passing by. It's a distant shot. You can't recognize either one of us. And not that much longer, I'm doing an Oldsmobile commercial with Harry Belafonte's son David and daughter Gina. Now, I'm not going to tell you that Gina and the wardrobe girl undressed me in the wardrobe trailer before we shot that commercial, but that might have happened. Anyway, here's that commercial.
It's a new generation and we want a new boat.
Sequential port, fuel injection, anti-lock brakes.
Paydays come and we want a new boat.
Visual information center, handles great.
This Oldsmobile is not our father's.
New generation for the sons and daughters.
This is the new generation of Oldsmobile.
Now, to find me, you got to look close. Real close. I'm right here. There I am, leaning against the railing with my bike. So, you can't recognize me. So, a couple months go by and another holiday buddy comes down for a visit. You should know my friend by now. He's my friend, and he's also a character in my Steve Piasecki crime fiction series. He's pro wrestler Hitman Bruno, and he's Steve's sidekick in Dead Stripper and all the episodes that will soon follow. Anyway, that day, I pick up my friend at the airport and drive him straight to Frederiksted Pier. But I don't tell him that he's going to be an extra in the Love Boat special. You see, Linda hooked me up for that too. Early that morning, I'd already taped the scene with guest star Tom Bosley at a warehouse. The scene's supposed to be in L.A., but they shoot it right there in a warehouse on St. Croix. I was a plainclothes detective walking around the background. Now, in this scene, my friend and I are tourists walking down the gangplank off the Love Boat. And just so you know, my friend became a pro wrestler, just like the part he plays in Dead Stripper. Roddy Piper is one of his heroes. And Roddy's a guest star in this episode. But I never mentioned that to my friend either. And when we finish shooting this scene, we're walking off the pier, and there's Piper making a phone call on a payphone. This is way before cell phones. So I say, "Hey Roddy, you're my friend's hero. How about a picture?" And Roddy says, "What the fuck? I'm only talking to my agent in Hollywood." "Sure, come on over." My friend walks over to him, and I take the picture. So, there you have it. A chance meeting with a gorgeous Puerto Rican girl in Rumors gets me 4 acting credits. My name's not in the lights. In fact, you can't recognize me in the commercials. But I got paid, and they were great experiences. Here I am, talking about them 40 years later. By the way, my friend stopped wrestling a couple years ago. He now owns a couple juice bars in South Jersey, Fruity Juice. And my arch friend, Jim Chetchesko, and his partner, Bill Furman, well, they can be seen tonight on this week's Philly Press Box radio show. They're talking Phillies, and I believe Tommy Green makes a guest appearance. So, that's it for today. Now, I already mentioned Caribbean Queen and Dead Stripper, both real good crime fiction books, based on true stories and real people, so they ring true. Both available in paper and Kindle at Amazon and most booksellers. Get your copies before the supplies run out. That's it for today. Thanks for stopping in. Until next time. See you.